Gotta find my LCD sound system.
Oh, you like LCD sound system?
Oh man, I love LCD
I love
sound.
those guys too. That
Their new album, America, so good.
oh man, that one song, "Dance Yourself Clean." I think it's on a different album, but holy shit, dance yourself clean. Welcome back.
All right, we're having another episode of Sound Culture, the show where we give you recommendations on albums you should listen to if you haven't listened to them yet, and if you have listened to it before, give it a re-listen because this is Bloc Party's Silent Alarm. Amazing album.
Absolutely, by far my favorite album of all of theirs.
Yeah, I'm Tim.
And I'm Brendon.
And the reason why we're talking about this album today is because Bloc Party's Silent Alarm is their debut album from 2005, and it is, it's a classic. I don't know another way to describe it other than it's their debut album, obviously, so of course it's going to be in their canon a classic. But I just mean in the sense of dance rock this is what people were listening to in 2005.
Yeah, absolutely. And their first opening track, like Eating Glass, it sticks out so much, and I believe that's their most popular song, and I think with good reason. Starts off with a super quick bass line, or a super quick drum beat, I mean.
Yeah.
And really simple guitar riffs done really, really well, and they have a way of building up the difference between their verse and their chorus. Now, normally you get verse, chorus, but these guys go verse, it's kind of a longer one, and then verse again, it's kind of a long one, and then the chorus comes in, and the chorus is so catchy, and I think that it's their best song, I think.
So Rolling Stone, I made a comment about this. Rolling Stone said of this album, it is emotive and rhythmic, and it is so good at doing both simultaneously, or as you said, kind of switching back and forth, but it always feels intentional, everything about their lyrical choices and their music choices.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do this really well. They play just single notes on guitar, so it's not too in your face, and both the guitarists are really, really talented. But it almost reminds me of another band, Explosions in the Sky, that does that quite a bit. And I think that's part of their charm, is that it's not too much, and it's done just right.
And interestingly enough, if this is something that you would find interesting, I do personally. There's no lyrical center to this album, so it's not like there's a specific narrative that they're taking. It's a lot of just moments in time, vignettes of people's lives. It's like Banquet, for example. It doesn't talk about a person. It's kind of just a moment. It's like they're talking about dancing and emotion and relationships and all these things. It's very much an album about moments.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, absolutely. And certain songs I really connected with. The song "Blue Light," I think they do a fantastic job of playing open chords with a delay effect on them, and it's a wonderful use of clean music. And then they do this technique called side stick drumming. If you're not familiar with that, you can think of the song "Under the Bridge" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's basically hitting the side of the snare drum instead of the middle, and it produces this kind of softer sound, and it really adds to the environment of the song. And I think that one really stuck out for me too. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, it's interesting you noted that, Brendon, because they actually talk in all the reviews I was reading about this album. A lot of people talk about the fact that it's a very percussive album, especially in the first half, right?
Drummer needs to have honors. He needs to be recognized.
It's not till the back half of the album that you really start to see them leaning into other types of effects, and even then they're intentional. So it's not like let's just throw in a bunch of alarms.
It's done with class.
Yeah, it's intentional, like I said, and the fact that, like you mentioned, the guy, he's gone now. He's not part of the band anymore, but the drummer, I think his name's Gordon Mokes or whatever. Like you said, he deserves full honors for that album. He's doing some amazing things in there, and it's like, how did you even accomplish that, man?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really interesting how the drums can complement and help out the guitar, because songs like Banquet, they have two guitars playing real simple power chords. One has just a slightly different effect than the other. One's playing on a lower octave than the other. But with the drums thrown in there, it doesn't sound like it's lacking at all. And it's just got a really cool, if you listen to it with headphones, it's got one in the left ear, you hear one guitar, and then the right. So it's got a really cool feel to it. Yeah,
it's a very cool stereo sound. Yeah. Another thing that I want to point out about this album, which I thought was really interesting to learn, it charted in over 18 countries in less than a year. So I think that says a lot about it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people all over the world who resonated with this album and thought it was worth listening to.
Yeah, it gives them some credibility for their musicianship too, and it's well deserved.
Yeah. And at a time when downloading was a major thing, not that we need to go into politics, but this was just at the time that downloading was becoming very popular, and bands like Metallica and Madonna were speaking out against it.
Annihilating Napster. Yeah.
These guys were being heavily downloaded as well, and they were fresh on the scene. So obviously they're gonna maybe not be as opinionated, but it turns out that they were fairly opinionated about it actually. And what they said about it was they didn't give a shit.
Yeah. I think that's the way to go. It's like promotion. It's like, oh, you heard my song on the radio?
Yeah.
Oh, the end is coming. I think it's just promotion, and I think it's a good thing too.
Yeah, they weren't worried about it, which I think is fascinating, because if we look at 2005 versus 2018, now downloading is kind of the norm, but a lot of times people pay for it. Sometimes they don't. But either way, musicians are finding ways to still get paid, and Brendon talks about this. Obviously, we talked about it in our interview, but there's ways to get paid that you can work on your own terms, right? So
performing, for one. If you want to make money, go out there, do a performance, and sell a CD.
And that's
Don't
what these
worry
guys.
about
That's what Bloc Party does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I should point out too, I use these guys in my drum lessons. Their song "She's Hearing Voices," the initial bass riff, basically, or the bass drum, uses a technique called dotted pairs, and it makes it sound a little bit faster. And I've taught it to a lot of kids in my day because it's such a useful drum beat. And that just goes back to us, mentioning the drummer and how it's a really percussive album. That's one of the things that I remembered the most from it.
Yeah. So that's it. I think you should listen to this album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is Sound Culture.
Thanks for watching.
Have a good one.